beautiful people, and welcome to TCS podcast. My name is Nanna. You can call me Nan. For those of you that have been here before and are avid watchers, you have probably seen me on some of the podcasts with Pam Mari-Lyn. For those of you that have not met me before, I am a spiritual mentor, guide, and channel, and I'm going to be on here to give either energetic updates on the month or weeks to come so we know what we have to work with, or just the general channeled message from my guides and my spirit friends, basically. So I'm looking forward to seeing you some more, and hopefully this will help you a bit on your spiritual journey or on your healing journey, whatever journey you are on. So I also put the intention here that any words that we channel is received as healing. It's supposed to be soothing, inspiring, and uplifting and helpful. So I just urge you to sit back, relax, and just kind of receive the words in any way that you, get them. So let's start. I have definitely been chatting a bit with my guides about the coming energies of June, and the spirit of June is very mental. It's such a big mental energy, which I'm excited for because I'm a very mental person. Those of you that are not so mental might feel like your thoughts are racing all over the place. Those of you that already have thoughts racing all over the place, you'll probably feel like there's a lot more space in your mental energy. All of a sudden, there's like a breathing room. And in this space, it's a beautiful opportunity for us to get to know different aspects of ourselves. Now, what do I mean with that? Well, since we know everything is one, our consciousness is one with everything, but it's like a stream in and of itself that is made out of our spark. That spark is made up of this absolute energy that is penetrating and expressing itself in absolutely every aspect of the universe. So within our consciousness, we have multiple selves. On this journey of awakening, of being, we find ourselves asking the question, who am I? Who am I? So many times. And many times we try to pin it down as this one part or this absolute something. But just as the universe is so vast and multidimensional, so are we, because we're aspects of the universe. So it's such a beautiful mental time to actually work with the polarities of our beings. So with polarities, meaning anything that is an opposite, basically. So to explain this, let's say that we have a big part of ourselves that we are identified with. So we see that part, we consciously know ourselves as this part. Let's say that part is super, super empathic or empathetic. For some reason, I do not like the word empathetic because it sounds like pathetic. So I prefer to use empathic, whatever, not important. Sorry about my dog. His mental energy is always on. Yes, so the different parts of ourselves. Let's say we have a part that is super empathic, on the verge of naive, trusting of everything, not discerning, and just lets people walk all over us. That part is going to have a polar opposite that is the, opposite of that. Many times we don't recognize those parts because we don't like to. On the other scale, if we consider ourselves not being super empathic people or compassionate, we're more mental, we're direct, we're very structured, organized, we are very, I don't even know how to explain it, very edgy in a way where it's very direct, and not so, not naive, very discerning. maybe on the verge of actually being very skeptical, a little cynical. Maybe, you know, we call ourselves realists and we just like to get it done. We don't like to, you know, dwell on things too much. We just like to get it over with. We probably are not super identified or conscious of the parts of us that are the opposite of that. So, in this vast space that's going to be available to us in June, we are having a beautiful opportunity getting to know polarities. The beauty of polarities is that they offer us expansion. They offer us perspectives. We can think about parts of ourselves as these different perspectives that add more to who we are. So, our job is to take all those and kind of integrate it, just like a tree has a trunk and its roots. It also has these different branches. The different branches can be seen as parts of ourselves. When we integrate it into what I would call the neutral self, the one that can encompass and express and channel those parts, that's when true integration happens. So it's a beautiful, beautiful month for integration. May was very playful. I'm super excited to hear, or excited, I'm curious to hear if any of you experienced May as a very playful, kind of childlike month where the energy was very light. Please let us know in the comments. And so there's still a kind of playful energy in June, but more, not as childlike, a little bit more serious, so to say. Let's see, what more did we have with that? When we want to accomplish something in our lives, we want to reach certain goals, it's very hard sometimes if we have parts of ourselves not moving towards the goal and parts of ourselves that are moving towards the goal, because that means that not all of us, you can say, but not our whole selves is on board. That also kind of means that we don't feel 100% safe and we're not considering every perspective. So making any kind of decision, there are times to take risks where you just kind of go with it, where we're all on board, we take the risk. But there are some aspects or some decisions in our lives where we are very hesitant. So a beautiful month to actually listen to the perspectives of us that are very afraid or just cautious about making those decisions, because with that we gain more information. So what my guide just actually said, it's a month of more information. We will be so open-minded. Depending on what kind of person you are, it can feel either liberating or confusing. So taking time to ground and write down things is so beneficial. You might be an actual writer. You might write poetry or, books or stories or articles or, anything. It's a beautiful month for that creative expression. A wonderful time to just let the creative juices flow, write, let it all pour out. If you're not one of those writers, basically you're like, ugh, I don't like writing, just give journaling a chance. If journaling is not your thing, take your phone, find the where you record sound, and just record little snippets of your thoughts. That way you get them out of your head and you can listen back or you can read back and you can have information that you didn't have before. Another thing we can do to access more information from ourselves. Now, it's important to say that this information is from parts of ourselves that we're taking on board. One way is to journal, but like a dialogue. So with information, conversation and dialogue and communication is key. So when we open dialogue with ourselves, that's when beautiful things can happen. Spiritual journey is so much about self-awareness, and the more we know, the greater we can become, the more we can become of who we want to be. Sometimes it's not so much who are we as it is who do we want to be. And if we have this little written dialogue, it's a back and forth between our conscious self and our subconscious parts, where we actually get to ask each other questions, give each other answers, um, to accept ourselves, to understand ourselves better. And if we can understand ourselves better, we can understand other people better. One thing to consider this month, this coming month, or not this coming month, we are in June now, is how other people mirror aspects of ourselves. Sometimes we get caught up in our everyday lives. It's hard to stay in this connected self all the time. We're humans, we get angry, we get pissed, we get dogs that bark, for example. But learning how to see ourselves in other people. So it's a good time to be very mindful of whoever we meet, whoever we interact with, that that person mirrors a part of ourselves and we mirror a part of them. So that also adds to our information about who we are and who we potentially could be. Anyone that you meet is a mirrored aspect in some way. No matter how hidden it is, some part of us resonates with each other. So be mindful of that. It's nearly impossible to do that all the time. No one's asking that from us. They're really saying that. But if we can, just try to get back to that. It's a very good exercise to do if we tend to get really irritated by other people. If we have a lot of wounds and traumas when it comes to relationships, when it comes to friends, when it comes to feeling engulfed in relationships. So meaning that when we enter a relationship, we feel like we have to cut parts of ourselves off and take on parts of the other person. Naturally, when we have those kinds of enmeshment traumas in life, we tend to stay away and avoid a lot of relationships. So it could be a good way to actually recognize our need for connection in people that want to really initiate connection with us, even if it triggers us. It's really good to stay with that. Easier said than done. I know. Believe me, I know. June is also a beautiful opportunity for, channeling. Now, when we think of channeling, many of us think of someone sitting and, a spirit is taking over the body. And yeah, a lot of channels do that. I don't do that personally. I like to just have it as a dialogue because I like to be conscious. It's a good time to, in some kind of meditation, channel individual parts of ourselves and just kind of stay with the energy of what they bring. And we can always go back to our neutral selves again. I hope this all makes sense. Let me know. And I'm just listening. We are so separate in the world. I don't think you need me or my team telling you that. And even if it feels like we're not doing much with our own healing work, they're saying that we should definitely know that the more we heal, the more we integrate, the more we understand ourselves, that does create a ripple effect. It does go out into the world and it does make a difference even if we don't necessarily see it immediately. But to have that trust that it does definitely make a difference. And a lot of us are caught up in everyday life when it comes to, partners, spouses, children, animals, work. It's so much about other people, and it can be hard to tend to ourselves or find that time to actually sit with ourselves and do something for ourselves because we feel selfish, or we have been taught that if we do that, that is selfish. Again, it's a beautiful opportunity this month to actually try to consciously carve out that time, even if it's 30 minutes for one day during all of June. It's better than nothing. So to actually sit and talk to that part of us that feels like it is selfish. Again, open that dialogue, create understanding. So, to sum it up, June is about information, understanding, and mental expansion. That sounds like a horrible title of a book, but that's what I got, so that's what I'm gonna channel. Um, some of us are just starting our spiritual journeys, so this is a beautiful, beautiful time for that open-mindedness, for synchronicities, for learning more spiritual lessons, learning more spiritual truths, to actually tap into our own truth and integrate it into our hearts. Again, another super cliche thing, you know, so many of the spiritual things we talk about can sound so cliche. With the heart energy and integrating and all that. But things are cliche for a reason. It's because there is truth to it, and we keep saying it over and over again until it sounds cliche. So heart energy is not just like this, oh, I'm, you know, lovey-dovey, I'm loving everything in the world. It's a deep, deep understanding. And with a deep understanding comes deep compassion. Now, what we do with compassion is a little bit up to us. There isn't a really fixed rule what we do with it. Sometimes it can cause us to end up in this enabling way, but that is not compassion that enables. It is our own wounds of trauma bonding with parents or caregivers. So we confuse the emotion of compassion with having to cater to someone in these impossible ways. And sometimes it backfires, both for us and for the person. But with this mental energy, we can actually take the beautiful compassion and add some common sense to it. Add some sense to it. So we marry two kind of, well, yeah, okay, two polar aspects together to create more. Which I'm really excited about. It's always a great idea to try to integrate and to go into our polarities. Things in life are not something to fight. Things in life are what they are. We are dealt the cards that we have. It's up to us what to do with those cards. It's up to us to handle our deck in the absolute best way possible. For those of you that watched Trevor's Pick a Card, I love that, by the way. He said something, I picked pile, I think it was 3 or 4, I don't remember now. But he talked about choices and how choices are not fixed. How if we feel we make a choice and it doesn't feel right, we can make different choices. That is such a beautiful thing to remember, and it's also something that's very important now. We have many choices, and sometimes many choices can makes us feel stuck or unable to make a decision. But really, to know with this kind of a mental energy is very, very airy, very easy breezy. It's not easily caught. For those of us that know air signs, Geminis, Aquariuses, I'm an Aquarius, and Libra, we know sometimes that the personality of those people can be, if you're into astrology, very airy, very mental, very airy. It's hard to kind of catch, it's hard to pin down. So that's June in a nutshell. But that also makes us not feel too stuck on things, and it makes us move forward with more information. Okay, that's my cue, because I've been saying the word information, I think, millions of times. Yeah, so to sum it up, stay open-minded, stay in your heart, and be open to learning more about the multi-dimensional being that you are, that we all are. Learning more about the oneness and magic of the universe, not out there in space, but just here, exactly where we are right now. How much beauty there is in that. And yeah, keep writing, keep being curious, and please let me know how you experience this energy. We would love to know. And I will be back another time with either an energetic update or just a channeled message. I don't know now. I never know beforehand. I will have to talk to my spirit team, so to say. But I really hope this helped you in some way. I really hope that June is going to be a wonderful month for all of us. And yeah, if you have any questions, so you would like to know more, or if there's something that we said here that just makes zero sense and you feel you want some more clarity, please let us know. And yeah, you want to know more about TCS and what we do, please visit our website, and I hope to see you again